Hey everyone, welcome back to the 90th minute. We are your hosts. We got Greg, Lucas, myself, Liam. Co-host Waz is not here this week. He is at PAX East. Boston.
Yeah. Hope he's having fun.
Up to Boston. That's a song, Greg. Did you know that? Wow.
I mean, if you want to see some of his adventures, check out his Twitter.
No. If you are new to the 90th minute, make sure you are subscribed on YouTube, following us along on any and all social media. Links are in the description, especially our TikTok, our Instagram,
Thank you for
Twitter,
16,000.
Yeah, 16,000 on TikTok.
Again, thank you for all of you that have subscribed this past week on YouTube as well.
It's actually crazy that there's 16,000 people who actually care what we have to say. I don't even care what we have to say.
And then, over 1,000 on YouTube who watch the full... Well, not all watch the full.
Well, we greatly appreciate all the support we have been getting. Keep on sharing us. Keep, hitting the like button, commenting down below, getting involved in the conversation we are having. Now, it's been a very busy week in football. Some huge games, some big storylines.
Lots of controversy.
For the first time in a long time, Lucas is depressed. Slightly depressed. Greg's happy.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
This is a weird week. It's like a backwards week. I know it's been a leap year. It's a leap day.
Yeah, we're in the Twilight Zone.
It's weird.
So let's start off with Lucas' misery.
We must start off with Liverpool.
Of course, we lose on a day that only happens once every 4 years.
Pretty much. Liverpool finally lose. It's their first loss this season. 3-0 at the hands of Watford. This is just wild.
They just weren't good.
Liverpool were not good, and full credit to Watford. They were fully deserving.
Yeah. And I think Liverpool, that Atletico Madrid game kind of messed them up.
I disagree.
Why do you disagree, Lucas? Because I sort of agree.
Because
They weren't very good against... Who did they almost lose to?
I don't think Liverpool
West
have
Ham?
been great for the past month or so, month and a half.
I mean...
Their goals have dried up a little bit.
To be fair, you could argue ever since the winter break, they haven't been the sharpest.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like, goals have dried up, and defensively, they've let in more goals since the winter break, like you said, than they have for a long time.
Speaking of goals letting in, I found it insanely funny how Lovren comes in, and that's when they lose.
Okay, but if you look at it, at the end of the day, if you look at it, Liverpool, even if from back to front, they were not good.
No.
Yeah.
Alisson didn't have his best game in the world. Trent Alexander-Arnold was having
very poor
performance defensively from beginning to end. Lovren was getting bullied by Deeney throughout the match. Dean even said after the match he chose Lovren to bully.
If you're a center forward and you are looking at either Van Dijk or Troy or Dejan Lovren, I'm going to take my chance with Dejan.
But I'm not going to bash on Lovren like most people because he's not the only one at fault in this match.
Everyone
Van Dijk, he did not have a good match.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lovren did not have his best ever match, but I felt he was a bit exposed at times by Van Dijk. Mm-hmm. There's times where he was the last man, and it was like, Van Dijk, where are you right now?
Robertson, he was probably the best out of the back four, but that's not saying much.
And he's just running.
So quick. He made so many runs. I was like, this man doesn't stop.
Fabinho, I still feel like he's still trying to get into rhythm, even though he's been back from injury for a while.
Fabinho did look a bit off this match.
Well, so did everyone, really.
Well,
Wijnaldum, I barely saw him with the ball throughout the match. Maybe he was working hard off the ball. I didn't pay enough attention to that.
Your midfield is missing Henderson a hell of a lot.
Well, I'll get to that in a second. Oxlade
I agree.
We're on Lucas's time frame here.
Hey, it's Liverpool. We lose. I see all these memes everywhere. I need to talk.
I'll have my say on my team in a little bit.
Oxlade-Chamberlain. I mean, he didn't have a good match either.
Yeah. The more and more I watch Ox, I go, he's good off the bench. I don't think he should be starting for you guys.
I disagree. He's had some good games from starting.
I don't know if he's good enough to start for you guys.
You got to remember, he also had that terrible injury.
Yeah, 100%. But I look at your midfield and I go, I don't put Oxlade-Chamberlain above Naby Keita.
Oh, Naby Keita was injured.
Yeah,
he had a hip injury.
If everyone's fit,
I'm not
starting Oxlade-Chamberlain above Keita.
I agree.
And Gomez was also a fitness concern, so that's why he didn't play. And also the front three, they just didn't get involved enough.
Nothing. It just wasn't
working. Firing, but You have to give credit to Watford.
Of course,
Yeah.
guys like Doucouré was
Yep.
incredible. Kapue, incredible scenes from him.
Troy Deeney, I thought, was fantastic at hold-up and bullying Dejan Lovren.
That entire back line was just
Yeah.
solid. Pearson, he just knew 11 men behind the ball
Well,
worked perfectly.
Do you remember Nigel Pearson's first game in charge of Watford?
I mean, he had a good match against Liverpool.
It was against Liverpool. They lost 1-0. And you know what? They were very close to, getting a result there. So
Yeah.
maybe he has a bit of a game plan against Liverpool. But you know what? Since he's come in at Watford, I know I've said multiple times that, I think they're going to stay up. They're going to be good.
You
I
the
have,
unbeaten team.
They have good
3-0.
players. And when they have performances like this, you say, how are they even in the bottom three, let alone consistently losing?
Well, when you think of Watford last season, you don't think that they're
100%.
at the bottom right now.
Yeah, I know Messina in particular. I thought he was pretty good.
Ismail Assar, we have to talk about him.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you score a brace against Liverpool,
should have had a hat trick.
He missed the hat
Should have
trick.
had a hat trick.
yeah. And then, Assar, he was just a dangerous player.
He was quick. I liked him.
I mean, he's came from League One last season. He's definitely a player to watch for the next few seasons. If Watford stay up, then they're gonna have a future star in their hands.
I mean, this
After
win,
this, I'd be very surprised if they
this
don't
win
stay up.
with the 3-goal difference does put them outside the relegation zone,
Just on goal difference, right?
just on goal difference. But
This is a massive
That's
boost to their
huge 3
confidence.
points,
They
yeah.
should be going into their next games saying, we just beat the best team in the world.
yeah,
Again, but that can also play the other way around. That could get you
It can,
overconfident.
it could.
But you
I
think
think-
Nigel Pearson would be smart enough to say, okay,
Just
focus.
calm
Yeah,
down.
it's
just
one
focus
game.
on the
Focus
next
on the
match.
next one.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, Watford, you got your victory. You got to focus on a lot of the Liverpool portion because, well, I am a Liverpool fan.
Yes, and the big talking point, of course, is no longer are Liverpool invincible.
Yeah.
A lot of us said, well, I know I said a few times,
yeah.
saying, hey, I don't see them losing. I did say if they were to lose, it'd be against a relegation team.
But you didn't say they would.
I said if they would.
If is very important in this case.
I did. I could put my hand on my heart and say I did not think Liverpool would lose this year.
I mean,
I thought we were
I
watching
thought they'd
Invincible.
go. I thought they would too.
I never said anything.
You didn't. I give you credit for that.
I
You
was
said you
still,
won.
you still barely said that they've won the league.
Yeah, which, like what I said to Liam earlier, you got to just put this game past you. You're still gonna win the title.
Yeah.
This doesn't really matter.
Of course, yeah.
It's like the Roy Keane comment of when you turn over your Premier League medal, it doesn't say how many points you won. It's just said that you won. So they don't care.
Yeah, and like in the moment when the match ended, I was a little annoyed. I had to go to work. First few hours of work, I was a little annoyed.
It sucks, but you got to just move on.
But yeah, like today, I'm like, okay, whatever. We played Chelsea midweek. Let's beat them. Let's
a big
go.
game, yeah.
No, FA Cup. We haven't won that trophy yet in a long time. So let's try and win that now.
Still in Champions League, like just
You got
yeah.
a big result you need there. Yeah.
I think this is an important result for Liverpool because
You need to just
Maybe
get
it's a
that
wake
over
up
with.
call. It
Yeah,
might be a
that's-
wake up call.
Bit of a wake up call. I think it takes a bit of the pressure off in terms of, are we going to be invincible? We have to win. Now it's kind of like, you know what?
yeah.
You're
The
basically
first loss is over. Just play now.
Yeah, I know Klopp said something after the match, which I'll try to find. But yeah, I agree with what you said, Greg. I know it's kind of boring if we agree with each other, but
Yeah, but do you think the handful of injuries, especially to Joe Gomez and Henderson, do you think that is to blame for this?
missing your captain is a big.
He's been
portion.
fantastic this season, especially with ball distribution, I think.
I think Henderson's obviously a big miss because he's been very good the past few months, but we've lost matches with Henderson before.
Yeah.
So I don't think if he played in this match, we'd magically not lose 3-0.
No, I don't think that's the case. But like, it's just it doesn't know. You don't know how it's actually going to turn out. but
Yeah.
he's just a miss. For
And
sure.
like, and also, I guess with Henderson, okay, actually, Joe Gomez, I think maybe that could have helped prevent some goals, but if the players, I think we only had one shot in the first half.
Yeah, your attack was not firing at all.
So even if the defense was good,
And I know Jurgen Klopp is using Origi on the left wing, which is probably his preferred position, but I still think you need him in the box. When you're down by a goal or something, you need to toss him in the box, whip a few crosses, and you have the two best crossers in the Premier League in your wing backs. Get Origi on the penalty spot, get crosses into him, and get his head on it.
they switched to a 4-2-3-1 when they brought him on, right?
Was
it
not
similar to
when he
No.
first came on. That towards the end they did.
Okay.
Because it took off the entire midfield, basically.
They needed a score, so
And also with Klopp said after this match, he said that the loss was rather positive for Liverpool because there's no records to chase, which allows the team to play more freer. Because maybe with this, like, it started getting in their heads like, oh, we don't lose. We haven't lost in so long. Even in the Champions League match, I thought they played okay in the Champions League match. Not the best, but in like these recent Premier League matches, like
they haven't been great.
They weren't able to, they haven't really been expressing themselves. Maybe this is just a chip off their shoulder. Like maybe
agree.
Maybe they won't have to focus on getting this unbeaten record, which so many people in the media have been talking about for so much.
But like we said, it actually just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
The only thing that matters is
you win the title.
Arsenal.
Arsenal
are happy about it.
I was gonna say, do you know who it does matter to? Yes,
Yeah.
Because after the match, we saw flooding of memes and supportive fans around the world that aren't Liverpool fans celebrating Liverpool losing. The brilliance of this.
It's
you have to give credit to a team when they're this good. You know, none of us here are fans of Manchester City, but we can give credit to them about how great they've been. So, you have to give credit to Liverpool. I don't know why they're not on the table, I gotta be honest. They should really be on this table.
That's fine.
that's unfortunate.
But, we have to give credit to them for how great they've been this year. And, they will win the Premier League by a huge margin. You never know with the FA Cup or the Champions League. So, we'll see what they do in the next few months.
But I want to talk about, like, the reaction to this match, like, from everywhere.
Players or?
No, like, from social media.
People taking the banter out of you.
Yeah.
Are you not a fan of that?
Well, I'm fine with it for this reason. All these majority were Arsenal fans, really.
Yeah.
Their
club's halfway down the Prem, so
they're not having a good time. Let them have this one moment. Because they're probably not going to get Champions League. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But they're out of the Europa League after a disgraceful performance.
Arsenal's had a terrible year. They can't honestly.
I mean, if it was like. If it was a different club, I might be a bit more annoyed, but I'm not the biggest Arsenal hater in the world.
If it was like City, too.
Arsenal's a bit irrelevant to you right now.
Yes, I like Wenger. I like Henry. I like all those guys. I like Ozil.
Of course he does.
Liverpool fans and the Liverpool entire organization just needs to move past this and win the title and focus on Champions League.
But for the other fans, I feel like them just enjoying this shows just how far Liverpool have reached.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
best team in the world.
United fans were loving it.
Guys literally texted us, "Glory, glory, Man United."
What does that have to do with anything? Your club is just you're irrelevant to Liverpool.
Also, Arsenal we're pretty lucky they didn't have to play City this weekend too.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, so overall, I'm fine with it. I can accept it. My life is going to move on. I'm not going to have myself trapped in this suffering of, we're not going to be undefeated. No,
the only thing that
fine.
changes is you won't win the title as early as you would have.
That's the big thing. Yeah.
I mean, that's not really a big thing.
That's my point.
No, but the big thing is that that's the only thing that really matters. Kind of at this point is the loss doesn't really matter. The big thing is just you gotta wait another week.
Yeah, we won't be winning it at Everton.
That sucks.
That does kind of suck.
But we might be able to win it at City.
That'd be interesting. That'd be good.
Yeah, or maybe City will have to give us the walk of honor. That'd be funny.
Give him a big ol'.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But Liverpool have to bounce back. They need to perform well against Chelsea this midweek.
Yeah.
Chelsea have not been playing well, especially either. But yeah, just focus on the next match. Get back to the mentality you guys had before.
I feel like it'll
before the winter break.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be a wake up call for Liverpool.
And also in the past, I'm pretty sure Liverpool had poor results in February. Because I remember last season we had a few draws against, I think it was Leicester, Manchester United. I think that was in February. So
that sounds about
maybe
right.
February is just a bad month for Liverpool, and maybe they'll be able to turn around in March after this weird run of form.
I like what you said though, where you lose on the day that only happens once every 4
years.
years.
It's
next year that day doesn't exist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's move on from Liverpool though, because I think we've discussed.
Where are we going next, Liam?
I think we have to go to Tottenham versus Wolves.
Why do you want to talk about that?
It was a wild game, Lucas. There's a few goals in this one. A few good goals.
Yes.
It is Spurs who opened the scoring through who, Lucas?
Who?
Who opens the scoring for Spurs?
You like to pronounce this guy's name 20 different ways.
I said I'm gonna try to pronounce this guy's name differently every time
Come
I
on,
say
Liam.
it.
Just let it out.
It's Bergevine. It is. I am aware it's Bergevine.
Is it actually? Or
I don't know. It could be Bergwini, Bergwin, Bergwine. I don't know. I mean,
We
Bergwijn.
apologize how you pronounce your name.
I am not Dutch. I'm not.
Yeah, you're not Liam
not.
Van Peace.
I'm not. De piece. But he does open the scoring for Spurs. Dele Alli has a chance on net. He misses it.
That's the rebound.
He gets rebounded right there. He's had a good start to life at Spurs. Do you agree?
Yeah.
He had his debut goal, but I think he's fit in well to the side.
Yeah, it was the best debut goal since Emre Can.
Oh my goodness.
No, he was before Emre Can.
No.
Yes, it was.
Was it?
Yes, Emre Can was the best goal since.
Oh,
Bergwijn.
right.
Yeah.
Do you even watch the game, Lucas? Do you watch this sport?
I don't know if he does. He just watched Liverpool lose.
Okay, man.
Obsessed much?
Anyways, but
No,
yes,
it
I
was a
think
huge
he.
result.
I think he has been. He fitted in well, especially like he was a perfect signing since like Son went out too. Like
Yeah.
it just helps them out.
And once Son is back and Harry Kane's back, I think that attack will be deadly next season.
Yep.
Still no striker because Dele Alli was playing.
Yeah, it's definitely a miss for them.
Matt Doherty does tie it up before Serge Aurier has a lovely left-footed finish to make it 2-1.
It came out of nowhere. It's
It did, exactly.
Just
Yeah.
goes to Serge Aurier and just
He is good.
Bang.
I
good
like Serge
He has
Aurier.
good delivery of crosses. I didn't
Yeah.
expect him to score one on his other foot.
Diogo Jota does make it 2-2. He's having a fantastic year this year.
No,
about
not year, just recent form because he's been injured for
That
a
is-
while.
that is
what about
fair.
Traore making that run?
Yes, Bertrand
The
Traore
tank would not fall.
he just gets smashed into. He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm bigger than him.
Yeah.
He plays a nice through ball, 100%. But it does end up with a 3-2 victory for Wolverhampton. Raul Jimenez does score the goal.
Yeah.
He's having a good year. Don't combat me on that
I
one.
think Wolves was
Liam. Sorry.
Wolves has just been pretty good recently.
Yes.
Not recently, like most of the year.
13
Not at the
goals,
beginning of the
6
season.
assists.
For who?
Jimenez.
Yeah, Liam. I remember beginning of last season, you and I both bashed Raul.
Because he was missing a lot of chances last
Easy
season.
chances too.
Yeah.
And then suddenly now he's
He's found his foot.
one of the
You know,
best
he's-
strikers in the Premier League.
He's found his role. You know, he's got confidence going through him. You know, he's performing well.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's a funny thing. Yeah, you're not judging someone when they play 3 months in a league. It's something we have to consider.
Are you trying to like backhand compliment me right now, or
It's not a compliment at all.
no? I know.
I wasn't sure if he was trying to go somewhere with
It was
that.
a backhand dig.
Okay,
You don't know what a dig is?
I do. It's just a backhanded dig. It does end 3-2 for Wolves, which is huge for them this season in terms of potential Champions League place. Do we think they can actually make a European spot?
Wolves?
Yeah.
Well, let's see who they play for the.
Who else? Bloody Middlesbrough.
Well, Spurs are also played in this
Spurs
match.
are dropping off. Like I don't know.
I mean, realistically, they do have Europa League still, so that's going to be a fixture congestion.
Yes.
But they do have a fairly large squad compared.
That's Wolves up to 6th. Spurs are 7th.
Also, their tough matches left really on paper this season is Arsenal, but that's at home. Sheffield away, so that'll be a big one.
I think Sheffield are going to slowly start sliding down a little bit.
But there's also Everton at home,
yeah.
and then Chelsea away on the last day of the
So
season.
you know those are some tough games, 100%.
But if they win, like beat those teams are teams that are close to them in the
Exactly,
table.
yeah.
So
I mean, it's
They're
kind
almost
of,
like,
closer.
they're almost like 6-point matches. Almost,
I mean, it's kind of obvious to say if they won all their matches, they're going to be in the top four, probably.
Yeah.
But that
Spurs,
obviously isn't
though?
realistic.
Spurs do have some tough games as well. They have United, they have Sheffield, Everton, Arsenal, Leicester.
the race for 3rd/4th is still like crazy.
Well, I mean,
'Cause-
I think the race for 5th is even
Yeah.
just as crazy.
How did they beat City, man?
Who?
Spurs.
I don't know.
Spurs is
There's-
City.
there's-
City is
There's times where Spurs show up and they look brilliant, and there's times where they look very, very average.
I think
And
Spurs-
this is one of the times they looked average.
I think we've seen those. Spurs is just City's kryptonite.
well,
Pretty like recently.
I mean, I think there's also times where we can look at City and go, you know what, this team definitely has flaws, and if you can exploit those flaws, you can perform and get a good result.
well, Spurs has a good attack when they're on their game.
When everyone's
as we know,
fit and
City
healthy, yeah.
City is defense is iffy.
If we do look at the table, though, that, like I said, Wolves are 6th, Spurs in 7th. Manchester United, they are 5th.
Yeah, a disappointing draw for them today.
1-1 against Everton.
This was it's a weird result because it's both teams are just like, eh.
The scoring
Yeah.
is opening through Dominic Calvert-Lewin, future Ballon d'Or winner. We're going to say it now.
I swear, this guy scores some of the
What?
worst goals I've ever seen.
David
Lucas,
De
that was a
Gea.
fantastic goal.
David De Gea puts on his best Loris Karius impression. Just tries to kick the ball out. It hits Dominic Calvert-Lewin and it goes in.
So I didn't watch
Yeah.
this match because, I watched like 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
I saw on my app that Calvert-Lewin scored. I'm like, oh, they're gonna piss me off again.
With
Best player in
a
the world.
great goal, right,
Look.
Lucas?
Yeah. Look, I don't. Just want to clarify. I don't dislike Calvert-Lewin.
Okay.
I've said in the past that if he becomes a great player, I'll be happy for him.
You just think should finish more chances.
I think his one-on-one ability on net and when there's more pressure on him to score, I feel like that's lets him down a lot.
That's fair.
But his movement off the ball is very good. He does get himself into good positions,
Yeah.
and his teammates.
There's
do
a
find
reason
him
he
well.
has all these free goals.
Yeah,
as you could
he's
say.
a big center forward, so I mean he's good for the Premier League.
Yeah, he definitely works. It's just.
I know as a Liverpool fan though, it also just.
I mean,
Everton
I don't
getting-
really care if they have a good player. Like,
Well, no,
if
it's
they
just-
have a good player, that's fine. They're still irrelevant to Liverpool.
So so it's a bad goal.
A bad goal. David De Gea makes a bad mistake, and then goes to the other end. 31st minute, Mr. Bruno Fernandes. I'm not calling him Fernandes anymore.
Waz's
That's just how
favorite
Waz
player.
says it.
I don't.
Bruno
How do
Fernandes.
you pronounce his name?
I'm going Fernandes. He does make it 1-1, and it
Just
is
say
yet
Bruno.
another goalkeeping blunder from Mr. Pickford.
Roy Keane said, "I don't care. He's not a good
He's
goalkeeper."
not a good goalkeeper. I don't care. I completely agree.
I agree. Yeah, he's been just bad.
A lot of these big Premier League keepers have been poor.
You're not wrong.
Pickford, Kepa. Who else we have? De Gea at times this season has been very poor.
I mean,
I think the lower end goalkeepers, as you'd say, have been so much
Dean
better.
Henderson has been bloody brilliant. Like,
yeah, I saw on this video of Roy Keane saying that he doesn't care. He's not a good goalkeeper when he's talking about Pickford. It shows some the leading goalkeepers in
mistakes.
errors
Yeah.
leading to goals. David De Gea, Pickford, Dubravka, and Leno all have 7.
I think that's rough on Dubravka and Leno because I think they've actually been decent this year. They've faced a lot of shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can question other parts of their games, like maybe distribution.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do face a lot of shots.
Yeah, I think David De Gea should be put under a microscope this season. And, especially because Dean Henderson has been so good and he is on the United books. So, could we see a huge shock at Old Trafford and have a new goalkeeper
It's
next
so
year?
difficult because he just signed that big contract.
100%. That's definitely a sticking point. But I mean, I don't know if
I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to shock Manchester United fans
if
over
I
the
got
next
an
few
offer
months.
for $80 million for David De Gea, I'm taking it. Send him to wherever
I don't think
he
he's
wants
worth
to go.
that much. Not even close.
He is on his day, but he hasn't been on his day for a while. So I'll agree with that.
To be fair, after that mistake, he did make up
He
for
made
it
a couple
Yeah.
good saves, yeah. But
He's still a great keeper. I'm not going to.
it does end 1-1. However, there was a VAR moment in the 93rd minute. Yes, the VAR, our favorite thing. Debatable on this one.
Yeah.
Ball gets shot onto the United net. It took a deflection off of a United player and rolls into the net. However, there's an Everton man, I don't know who it was.
Was it Sigurdsson?
It may have been Gylfi, sitting on the floor in front of David De Gea. He fell over, basically. Doesn't touch the ball.
He moves out the way.
He moves out of the way of the ball, but it rolls past him into the net. Now,
And De Gea
VAR,
gets flat-footed because he thought he was going to.
well, De Gea's initially going off to his right, which is where the ball was going. When it took the deflection, it goes left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the VAR rules, Sigurdsson's offside, goal does not count.
He interfered with the play.
It's debatable because
It
it
is.
doesn't touch him. It wasn't his fault. If there was no deflection, that would have gone nowhere near Sigurdsson. The deflection takes it just
But
right to him.
did he interfere with the play? That's the question.
And
I don't think
Liam,
so.
what's the difference with that and if a player's standing up?
And the ball just goes past him and goes in.
Or no, he's standing up. He just steps aside when the
The
ball.
difference I would say is that if he's blocking the view of the goalkeeper, sitting on the ground, the goalkeeper can see the ball.
But you could argue in this case, he's sitting down. Maybe De Gea expects him to take a touch of the ball.
De Gea was going the other way. I don't think De Gea, if you take Sigurdsson out of that spot, I don't think De Gea reaches that ball anyways.
Are you sure?
I personally, that's what I feel. I feel that he's moving to his right, the ball goes to the left, De Gea's flat-footed.
I guess it's a tough one to really be for sure about.
Carlo Ancelotti was very upset after the game. Yes. He got red carded.
Let us know what you think about the entire situation, though.
It's yet another VAR controversial moment. So whether you're positive or negative with it, it's a talking point, and
I don't
both
really
sides are held to a draw.
I could see it going either way. Is like how I see it with it.
Yeah.
So
for United though, it's yet another performance where they've been a bit lackluster.
And they got lucky with it though.
Yeah, Everton, it's a decent point for them, but at home, they probably would have liked to have.
It's like I said, both teams are just with that result is
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Odion Ighalo did have a pretty big chance. He should have scored yet again.
Should have like 4 Premier League goals.
This man honestly should have a ton of goals. But I think Everton and United are actually very similar teams on paper.
I think United are a better team. Obviously.
I think United has a better
if
team,
they perform.
But I know what you mean though. I think they are. Like
okay. Everton.
Would you take Odion Ighalo up front for you, or Calvert-Lewin?
I don't know. I haven't really watched.
Calvert-Lewin kisses only one chance.
I haven't watched Ighalo play that much, so I can't really compliment on him or not. Well, Richarlison is good.
Yes.
Bruno
is good. He's gotten 5 out of 5 in the matches.
That's the other side. I was talking about Everton players.
I'm aware who Bruno Fernandes plays for. Thanks for letting me know.
You did just go from one team to another.
No, I thought he was comparing the two teams. He was going to say, Richarlison's good, Bruno Fernandes is good. I thought that's how he's going to do it.
No.
Sigurdsson's good. Sigurdsson's a bit past it, I feel.
I mean, there's not really a lot of players to me on these two clubs that are like top 4 player.
You got Theo Walcott on there. Come on.
I get what you're saying, though.
I mean, obviously there's some good players on there, and I think there's more top 4 potential players on Manchester United than Everton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chelsea. Let's go talk about Chelsea quickly. We'll mention a few of the score lines.
They have a bad result.
It could have been worse.
It very well could
have been, but
they draw They draw 2-2 against Bournemouth away at the Vitality Stadium. Mm-hmm. Marcos Alonso saves the day for the Blues.
He almost had a hat-trick.
He opens the scoring half an hour in before Jefferson Lerma and Joshua King makes it 2-1 for Bournemouth. It was a bit nerve-wracking for Frank Lampard's men, but eventually, like I said, Marcos Alonso does score, make it 2-2 right at the very end.
He's going to be a huge miss against the Bayern game.
I know that tie is basically done, but yeah, he will be a big miss.
Because he's been performing well recently.
Yeah, his attacking game is...
He's not a defender, though. I'm sorry. Put him at a left winger.
That's why Frank's probably playing a 3-back because...
Yeah. You play him at that left wing back.
Because only left back he can trust is Marcos Alonso, and he's only somewhat trustable in a wing back position.
Yeah. Well, Reece James started off as a left back. Now he's a right winger.
No, he's not.
He played right wing back against Bayern Munich.
Yeah, Reece James has always been a right back.
He played his first 2 games at Chelsea. I'm pretty sure he played on the left-hand side.
No, right back.
I thought he was on the left.
No, right back. He's good at right back and midfield.
You know what's weird, Lucas? I don't really care about Chelsea.
Why?
Why? Because they're just irrelevant right now.
They're in 4th place.
I mean, they're so lucky to be in 4th place.
They're not deserving of a top 4 finish.
They have like 2 wins in their last 7 or 8 Premier League matches.
I think they've been a bit unlucky with injuries, especially with
so is like
Pulisic.
All those kind of teams. Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea, United. They've all Actually, have Arsenal really had the bad injuries?
No,
I don't think so.
No, they've had a few. When players start performing well, but then Chambers, he was starting to perform well, and then he got a bad injury.
Callum
Tierney, your man Tierney.
Big old KT, he's out forever. They're talking about him going to Leicester. I was like, he just showed up at Arsenal. He's played like 2 games.
I mean, Chelsea were I saw most of the second half.
Alonso's goal, I did like them though. They're both good finishes. I thought. I liked his header at the end.
Yeah, I thought
he's taller than I thought he was.
I mean, he is pretty tall.
He is pretty tall.
Yes. Okay.
He's tall.
No, I'm okay moving on. It's just,
I see how this conversation is going. Let's move on.
It's a big result for Bournemouth. It's a big point for them. I know they're one of your sides that you back and you root to Bournemouth. You like them.
I like them. I don't.
So this is a good result for them to potentially stay up in the Premier League.
But
Chelsea,
it's a good result.
They're pissed.
It's a good result considering that Chelsea's in fourth place, but Chelsea's also been really bad, so you kind of want to beat them too.
Quickly, I'm going to run through some quickly here. Yeah. Norwich, huge win over Leicester City, 1-0.
Leicester's been really bad.
They have. Palace, 1-0 over Brighton. This game could have had 6 goals. It had 1, probably for the wrong team.
Brighton are entering the relegation
Yes,
battle.
they are. They haven't scored many goals this year.
Zaha missed an empty netter.
He did. Brighton, literally, let me tell you how many goals they've scored, Lucas.
32.
Thank you. They haven't scored many goals this year.
I mean, it's more than a lot of teams down
Newcastle, Burnley, 0-0. Absolute pish.
Imagine if you watched that game, Liam.
I watched the highlights of it. I don't know why. John Shelby had a shot. That was about it. 3-1 West Ham over Southampton. That's a big result.
Speaking of shot, this is going to come random, but Adam Lallana's shot.
It was a good shot off the post.
That was a banger.
Who cares? We lost.
Lucas,
but that could have sparked a comeback.
We're trying to give you a little bit of...
Because that was still in his 2-0, right?
Yeah.
That could have sparked a comeback.
They could have.
Anyways, that's all I want to say.
West Ham, 3-1 Southampton.
I mean, that's probably...
Ralph is mad.
That's a massive result.
I mean, out of their next... Look at their fixtures, Liam. Out of their next 5 fixtures, that was probably one of the ones they have to win.
Yeah.
West Ham.
Southampton's been good, and
West Ham, after that match, they go away to Arsenal. Then they host Wolves, away to Tottenham. They host Chelsea.
That's a lot of wishy-washy teams, though.
Honestly,
but it's still all like top.
They need to get, if they can get a draw against Arsenal and Chelsea, they'll be happy.
Do you see them winning any of those 4?
No.
No, really?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't.
No trust.
It's David Moyes. It's David.
Watch them win the whole 4.
Watch him go nuts. Watch him the rest of the season just go undefeated. Like
going for Europe.
They make my prediction look good if they go undefeated.
You had them in the top 10.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did too. So,
I mean, for Southampton, that's a bit of a back to reality kind of thing.
It sucks. They
are 13th, so they're not a million miles away from West Ham.
They're 7 points ahead of us.
The points wise, yes, but I'm saying position wise.
Position points wise is very differently.
Did I make a statement that would refer otherwise? I just said they're not a million miles away.
Anyways, move on.
Waz isn't here to get in the middle of the arguments.
If Liam and I want to fight, we're right beside each other.
I'm just here.
Greg can't separate us.
I mean, I could if I'm not going to jump over the table.
There were 2 games. There were 2 games that were postponed. Villa hosting Sheffield, and then City hosting Arsenal.
Of course,
because let's move on to it. The cup final.
The cup that Manchester City really care about.
No, they don't care about this at all. That's just all they win.
But
they win it consistently.
Manchester City versus Aston Villa.
What are you hating on, Lucas?
You didn't realize my pun.
Did you realize his pun?
I wasn't listening.
Neither was I.
I'm sorry, Lucas.
I cry.
I'm trying to talk about the match.
Okay, let's talk about the match because it's a historic victory for Manchester City.
Yes.
I don't know how historic, but fifth EFL Cup in the last 7 years.
It's not like Carabao, it's EDFL. EFL.
EFL, yes.
EFL Cup.
Yes, sorry. Capital One.
English Football League Cup.
It had a few names over the years. But yes.
Right now it's the Carabao.
It ends 2-1 for Manchester City over Aston Villa. We have to give credit to Villa for even just getting to the final after they beat Leicester, the heroics there. But you know what? They had a good performance. They challenged City.
Unfortunately, when you think of these teams, City's just gonna win. When you actually just think of it, but Villa did good. So
Villa did. They were admirable.
I mean, yeah, it was 2-0 in the first 30 minutes, and you're like, okay, this is gonna be like the FA Cup final last year.
100%.
But no, Villa, they defended better throughout the rest of the game. Maybe City dropped off a little, but Aston Villa, they got a goal late in the first half.
I like how Lucas is now checking himself with Aston Villa.
I mean, yes.
He got torn to shreds on TikTok.
Austin
Villa.
Austin Villa, mate.
Please.
It just made it so bad. Like I praised you, and then you just crash and burn. Like
That happens when Waz is in here. Someone has to crash.
Wow.
jeez.
This is just throwing.
I just realized that was a shot at Waz. I'm sorry, Waz. That wasn't meant to be a shot.
He's just gonna hate on you because you lost 3-0 now.
Who scored the goals, Lucas? Aguero.
Aguero, Rodri, and Samata.
And who messed up on Aston Villa's goal?
Oh, yeah, John Stones. Sorry, I was wrong. What? Yeah, John Stones had a...
Liam's favorite center back.
I can't stand the man. It looked like there was a sniper in the crowd, just took him out real quick, just drops to his knees. Like, I don't know what happened. It was interesting.
John Stones is always due for a mistake.
I love it when City are in a center back crisis and they choose Otamendi and Fernandinho over John Stones, the legitimate center back.
I mean, Otamendi didn't play.
No, he means
in just the rest of the season.
Oh.
Like, you could have had John Stones, Otamendi, which would be shocking center back pairing for Manchester City, but hey, that's a thing. It's a possibility, Pep. Try it out.
Phil Foden, fantastic.
Man of the match. Is he? You know, every time the guy gets a start, he performs well.
It's such a hard team to crack, honestly.
100%. But you know what? Maybe he's
such a hard starting 11.
Yeah, I don't know who he could replace though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Who's been poor this season, really, in their midfield? Their midfield has not been the issue.
No, they're not going to drop Raheem Sterling.
No.
Bernardo.
It didn't work.
I mean, David Silva is going to retire or leave the club. Mm-hmm. So Bernardo Silva and Foden would fight because De Bruyne would also be in that midfield.
It's a difficult midfield to get into.
It's such a deep team. Like, we can always talk about it.
I mean, the positive thing is he's still young. And
100%.
People always talk about, you have to play all these matches early on.
I mean, chances are, if
he wasn't a big City fan, do you think he would not be there right now?
Yes.
And playing for a good team, to be honest.
Yeah.
He'd probably be. Yeah, he'd probably. I was about to say Dortmund, but I don't think he'd be at Dortmund. But he'd definitely be somewhere else.
I think he'd be in the. I think he'd be in the Premier League, just at let's say your third or your fourth to seventh kind of territory. That's where I see him as being the best player on that team.
On a 4th to 7th place team?
Yes.
So you think he'd be the best player on Arsenal?
Aubameyang's still fantastic.
Aubameyang's great, but he wouldn't be a million miles away. I think he'd stand out. I think if you give him a center forward like Aubameyang, not only would he score goals, but he'd have a bucket load of assists.
I mean, he'd definitely help play teams like Chelsea, like Manchester United.
Everton.
Chelsea would be a good shot.
I mean,
drop Gylfi, bring him in.
I mean, the more you say that, I guess it makes it a little more sense.
Everton would actually.
Again, this is a guy with
correct.
This is just a guy with a handful of appearances.
Not always, Liam. Not always.
Yeah. So
2-1. City wins some silverware. To be expected. Let's go to another.
It's good for City to win
when
with all that's been happening.
Yeah, Aston Villa had that big chance late in the match, 87th minute. Yeah. Header off Bravo's hand, off the post.
And who clears it? John Stones.
John Stones.
Oh, it went right to him.
Yeah, but if he wasn't there,
didn't do that, then
this would be a different conversation.
Yeah. Let's move on to one of, if not the biggest game in the world.
I don't think we talked about it, but imagine if that did go to penalties. We know City with penalties.
Yeah.
Ederson would have been taking a penalty.
Honestly. Let's move on, though, to La Liga, and specifically El Clasico, because this was, like I said, one of the biggest matches in the world, but it had huge implications on La Liga title race.
Yeah, 100%.
It is wide open at the top of La Liga this season.
This moves Real Madrid into first place of La Liga, 56 points, I believe. Barcelona now have 50. Well, still at 55.
Yeah, Real Madrid, they do win 2-0 on the day at the Santiago Bernabeu. Vinicius Jr. does open the scoring before Mariano Diaz scores right at the very end.
Yeah, so
there were a lot of chances missed in this game.
Yeah,
I think there was more chances for Madrid than there was for Barca. I thought Barca were quiet on the night.
No.
They had a few really
Antoine
good
should have
chances.
scored.
Antoine should have scored.
Casemiro took Messi home in his pocket.
Messi should have scored.
Messi should have scored. He kicked it at Courtois. Artur had a good chance.
Artur's chance is probably the best chance on the night, yeah.
And then also towards the end of the match, after Madrid's first goal, Messi got on a breakaway, but Marcel caught up to him and slide tackled him, and Varane was there to help too. But I don't know. I thought Isco, he was brilliant throughout the match, getting himself into good positions and nearly scoring a great goal.
I mean, before when Zidane's first stint at Madrid, Isco was one of his most important players. When Zidane left, Isco barely played. He dropped out of the starting 11.
You've talked about getting leaving and everything.
Zidane's back, Isco's back. You know, obviously that's just a player manager that just works.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. What, is James Rodriguez injured?
Was just dropped. He hasn't done much.
I haven't heard his name in a long time.
He hasn't done much. Same with Gareth Bale. The fact that Gareth Bale, I mean, they didn't need him to come on today, but the fact that he can't get a starting spot, even though he was a once upon a time world record transfer.
Yeah, there's a bunch of players on that. It's just interesting like that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the first goal because, Cruz receives the ball and Barcelona, they just seem to like give Cruz all this time and space. Cruz is like looking left to right, and then he's like, Vinicius, make your run. Gives him this hand signal.
You can't give talented players like that
Toni
much
Kroos
space.
is one of the best ball-playing midfielders in the world, 100%.
And that gives him time to make a brilliant pass to Vinicius, and he darts towards the goal, and he tries to, I think, curl it to the far post, but Piqué's like, I'm here to help you out, Vinicius.
Yeah, it goes off Piqué studding into the back of the net.
I swear, I don't see Vinicius score a clean goal. At least I haven't.
I have a friend at work. He's a big Real Madrid fan. You know, he goes almost once a year to watch Madrid play, and he goes, "Thank God this guy actually scored a goal." I'm getting sick and tired of him missing like empty nets kind of thing. So yeah, he was rather happy today.
I mean, I'm pretty sure last year we talked about Vinicius. And like saying like he's such a good player, but he just never. If he could get that goal scoring ability,
100%. Yeah, I mean he is a fantastic talent.
I know we posted that video on TikTok once, and people said that we're criticizing us for some reason, even though it seems like it's pretty on point.
Common statement. No, but I mean,
he's a fantastic player. He still has a bright
you're playing
future.
For Real Madrid, you're okay. Like you're not a shit player at all. But
it's like Barcelona giving Cruz that much space, and Cruz does a hand signal, which is like. You'd think most obvious thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
hey, I'm gonna send you over here. All right, we'll just not mark that.
Don't worry about it.
And then after that,
a lot of people were saying before this game that this was going to be one of the worst El Clasicos of all time because there's no Messi, Ronaldo. There's
Messi.
There's Messi, but there's no Messi versus Ronaldo.
Hey, Ronaldo was there.
Ronaldo was there. He was in the stands. He was watching it. But the starting 11s of both these clubs are not what they once were, and you know what? That is a fair point. They're not at what they once were, but I think their starting 11s are still fairly decent.
It's good.
Madrid's more about the team now.
Yes, very much so.
Even though before you could still argue it's still about the team.
I think before it was a good team plus Ronaldo. Mm-hmm. Now it's just a good team. Barcelona still got Messi.
I do think that a lot of people are thinking that whoever wins this game
wins La Liga.
Yeah. Well, you never know because the week before Madrid lost to Levante.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think both these clubs will drop points before the end of the year.
I think so too.
To who and who can take it over?
Especially with Barcelona just passing, they were a bit better in this match, creating good chances against whenever Madrid were sitting deep, but. I don't know.
You got to take your chances.
I think that Barcelona is going to spend or attempt to spend some stupid money this summer.
They have in the past few years, and it hasn't worked. Obviously, I think
there's just a few places that they need to increase.
Yeah,
because
it just hasn't worked this year. Yeah. I mean, they are still within a title race, and I mean they're still going to do well in the Champions League.
I think we just expect more out of them.
They're Barcelona. But, since we've grown up watching football. They've been the best team in the world for a good portion of it.
Yeah.
So.
And also Mariano, he comes on and 13 seconds later scores. That was his season debut.
His dream.
That was his season debut.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Imagine just playing for La Liga at 13 seconds.
He's the guy that took the number 7 jersey.
He's no longer number 7.
He's no longer number 7. But when they gave it to him, they're like, what the hell are you doing? This was number 7 at Real Madrid. You give it to some random guy, basically.
Jovic was dropped for this.
Are you shocked?
Well,
He scored 2 goals all year, Lucas.
Not good for his confidence.
His confidence is shot. He said that 2 weeks ago. He's like, I just watched last season and I become sad.
You should be. With how good you were.
Damn right you should be.
Do you expect Jovic to recover this season, or do you think it will take time?
Take some time, I would say.
Do you think he'll be a flop?
I could see him being put out on loan. Think like Martin Odegaard.
But Martin Odegaard's younger than him.
I know, but I'm saying I could see him being loaned out this summer just to try to reignite his fire.
Do we also think, is Benzema going anywhere yet? Or
no, I think Benzema stays. I think him and Zidane are good together.
So then I could actually see Jovic do.
I don't think they'll sell him yet because he's a big investment, 60 million. Let him go out on loan, see what can happen. If he comes back good, he comes back good.
If he can get his form going, like it's a great one too. So
you would think.
I mean, it's a shame to football that Rebic, Haller, and Jovic have been separated.
I mean, how many years did they actually play together? Like
1 year. That's why it's a shame to football. I would have loved to see that for many years.
Oh my god.
Yes.
It's like the Monaco team.
It was a great attack, and
it was a good attack for Frankfurt, 100%. Another interesting result. Well, you say interesting, but Atletico Madrid drew 1-1 away at Espanyol.
When things go well, they go back down.
Yeah,
they have as many draws as wins.
I just can't do this team.
It's just.
I just can't.
But
Sevilla.
Getafe moved back to top four.
Getafe, they win over Real Mallorca. Sevilla, they get a 3-2 win over Osasuna.
Getafe is coming over. From their big game win Europa League.
We will talk
Can't
about
speak.
So many people hate Getafe.
We will talk about Europa League.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
Because I need to yell.
Okay, we'll talk about everything.
Actually, I was to be depressed for a little bit.
You can yell.
You might do both.
We'll see.
You might cry and yell.
Just, emotionally, I'm shot.
Okay. But yeah, Sevilla did win. We didn't really pay. If you don't know, we don't really pay too much attention to La Liga this year.
El Clasico is the big thing.
We don't get a huge amount of coverage about Spanish football here.
We do, but it's expensive.
Yeah, that's a big thing. So you know, we watch what we can, and we talk about what we know.
If it isn't on DAZN or Sportsnet, we don't watch it.
Sure. Let's move on to Germany. Let's do this. Dun 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 dun. I've tried.
Yeah, because it's like
it's the same, and then down, then up. Yeah. So I've tried. Dun dun.
I thought you went up on the second one again.
I don't know, man.
I think you went up.
I'm not musically inclined.
Fabian's gonna rip you.
I don't care. Bayern Munich. They win 6-0 away at Hoffenheim. Yes. However, no one really cares about the scoreline because it was all about off the field.
Yes. It was 6-0 at the 62nd minute.
Yes.
Some Bayern Munich supporters, they brought out a banner calling Hoffenheim owner a son of a
bitch.
Or
it was son of a bitch, is what it said.
Or basically. The W word?
Whore.
Yes, I don't know.
He can't just say it. I am Lucas's swear interpreter.
But then that caused a delay in the match because the ref, I don't know if it's a ref decision. I didn't really watch this part. It's just what I read. That all the players went off the field, and then there's a delay in the match, and then
they were off the field for 15 minutes, and the ref was like, you know what, we need to calm the stadium down before it's not safe, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So Bayern players, coaching staff, even Jans Lehmann went over there for a second.
Wait, why was Jans Lehmann there?
I don't know. Or no, it was Oliver Kahn. Sorry, not Jans Lehmann. Oliver Kahn. Oliver Kahn goes, hey guys, stop please. They eventually somewhat subside. There were still, banners being displayed. But for the last 15, 20 minutes of the game, it's just the two teams just pass it amongst each other to kind of be like, hey, you know what? You want to protest? We can protest.
I mean, it's such a weird thing.
It's very weird.
But there is some context behind this because this isn't the first time that this owner has been called these words.
Yeah, Hop, I believe is his name.
Yes, he's a billionaire from the Hoffenheim region or something. Yeah,
he's a big old rich boy, and he just spends a lot of money.
Again, Fabian, if you're listening, please fix any mistakes we make in this.
Just comment down below. Tell me what is being said in German.
Because he's German, so he knows more than us about this whole situation. I do know that a lot of people say that Hop has a good relationship with the DFB, so he gets more favorable decisions.
Oh, fair enough.
I know Dortmund fans were chanting some stuff about him last time they played, and now Dortmund fans aren't allowed at Hoffenheim for the next 2 years or 2 fixtures.
That's awesome. Expect Bayern fans to be also banned.
This guy also, I think this guy also let out a statement saying that saying that his mom is not a son of
Hey, you know what? It's never good to see protests like that spill over onto the game and affect the match. Yeah. But you know what? Fans have a right to voice their opinion, I guess. So. And
also, it's like you're stopping the match for that, but what about when there's a racism?
Yeah.
I mean, like because there's an occasion in the.
So yeah, like the thing is, like if players are getting abused, they're not going to stop it. But
if an owner who's not even on the field, maybe not even in the stadium, right? So
he's actually like does a lot for the community and stuff. But enough. I guess like Bundesliga fans, I guess the more traditional ones that like the 50+1 rule don't like. I don't like the amount of investment he put or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's his club, it's his money. He's allowed to do what he wants.
Things are different in Germany though.
It is. And we don't know. You know, we don't get that footballing culture in Germany. Obviously,
we're not German.
We're not German.
Which is why Fabian, please.
Yes, tell us what is happening.
But apparently, there's another situation like this in the Wolfsburg match as well. Wolfsburg Union Berlin, I think.
Yeah, so Bayern did win 6-0 of the match though. So.
Xerxes did score.
Yeah, Walls was right.
Good for him. Good for Xerxes.
Yeah, and I guess you guys were right about Bayern Munich without Lewandowski.
Who else scored that game? Leon Goretzka. Yeah, you're welcome. He came on the 56th, scored in the 62nd.
I mean, wow, Striker. He made it 6-0. Such a vital goal.
Lucas, he would have scored like a hat trick, but the game got stopped after that.
Yeah.
But yes, like you said, Wolfsburg Berlin ended 2-2. I'm not going to talk about the game very much because it is what it is. Dortmund, they got a 1-0 victory over Freiburg. That's actually a good result because Freiburg, for a while, were up a decent part of the table.
And also, Freiburg got a good result against Dortmund in the reverse fixture. Jadon Sancho with the goal. You love to see it.
You do love to see it.
The Jadon Sancho hype is going up.
Borussia Mönchengladbach got a 3-2 victory over Augsburg.
We're done.
What?
We're done with that match?
It's a 1-0 victory. What else do you want to talk about?
Well, I just want to talk about Dortmund keeping a clean sheet.
Yeah, it's impressive by Dortmund, actually.
Good job.
Because they don't score as much, but they actually don't
I'm sorry, guys. Liam just doesn't want to talk about this match.
It's a 1-0.
It's more than just a 1-0.
Haaland didn't score?
It's 15 minutes in, the goal scored.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of...
So for 75 minutes, nothing happened.
There's a bunch of Oh, that's not bullshit, man.
I didn't watch this game. I did not.
I can obviously tell.
I can fully admit that. Did you watch this game, Greg?
No, unfortunately
there you go.
I would have actually liked to, but because I actually been really liking Dortmund, but I don't get to watch them really. So
because Fulham was playing at the same time, and he didn't realize that he could have watched that match.
No, because I don't have Sportsnet World, Lucas.
Well, you have DAZN though. Fulham were playing.
Shut up! That's the worst. Gladbach's 3-2 result is big.
Yes,
it keeps him up in fourth.
Yes, you've been hating on Gladbach every single week.
Have I? When do I hate on Gladbach? I just said they're not going to win the Bundesliga.
Yeah, but you're like, you bring up Bundesliga title race, Gladbach, and you're like, no.
They're not in it.
Yes, they are. They're obviously in it.
They're not in it.
They're 6 points behind Bayern and have a game in hand.
That's nice. They're not going to win the Bundesliga.
They may not win it, but they're in.
They're in the title race.
They're
you can't not deny that they're not. Jeez, I can't speak today.
They'll finish 5th this year.
There's a race going on, and Gladbach are in their Ferraris right now.
Oh my God! What? Oh. Bayer Leverkusen.
I probably should have said a German car, but whatever.
Bayer Leverkusen and Leipzig draw 1-1.
Yeah, that's
a good result.
It's an interesting result. I know Dortmund lost to Leverkusen a few weeks ago.
Leon Bailey scores and Patrick Schick. Leon Bailey's gonna come to Glasgow and he's gonna mess up Stevie G.
We'll get to that.
Mess him up, Leon.
Yeah, but it's not Leipzig. Obviously, they won't be happy about this. They need a home match, especially. They need to win these matches.
But for Leverkusen, I think that's a really good result.
I mean, yeah, I think so.
You beat Leipzig away.
Leverkusen are happy with 100%. Yeah,
I think they definitely can't be mad about that. Obviously, they're still a few points off 4th place, but
yeah. Can we talk about a team that absolutely bottled it this week?
Again,
Schalke.
Yes,
this team is crap. 3-0 against Köln.
Yeah, they're having a rough time.
Not good.
I know Schalke, they play Hoffenheim, I think, in the DFB Cup this midweek. So I wonder how what their fans are gonna do. Do
you know who scored in the Bundesliga this week?
Was it Boyata?
No, it was Christoph Piontek.
Oh.
Pew, pew, pew. 3-3, Dusseldorf versus Hertha Berlin.
By the way, Schalke don't play Hoffenheim. I don't know where I got that from. They play Bayern Munich. I'm sorry.
You just don't know this game.
I thought I read something about them in Hoffenheim, but I'm obviously wrong.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, they play Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga next week. Apologies there.
But we're falling off right now, boys. It's late at night. We're tired.
Yeah.
Okay, Germany, done.
Are you excited for next week?
Very excited.
Especially for...
I'm just very excited.
What are you excited about?
Germany. German football in general.
Look, it's Gladbach Dortmund next week.
That'd be a good game, actually.
It's a very good game.
Dortmund. Is it at Dortmund or at Gladbach?
At Gladbach.
2-1 Dortmund.
What?
Are you going to make a prediction?
No.
Okay. You expect Bayern to beat Augsburg?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's go to Italy, because half of Italy was shut down this week, but some of it was okay. Lazio. What?
Just how you said that.
Some of it was shut down, some of it was okay.
Are you Gattuso now?
Yes. Sometimes shit, sometimes it's not so bad. 2-0 Lazio over Bologna.
Huge win.
It is a very big win.
I'm very happy to see Lazio continue to win the
top of
games
the-
they need to.
Top of the table.
They have not lost in forever, it
Liam
seems.
Celtic's at the top of the table.
That's an Hudson Edward quote. They interviewed him and goes, do you know what that result means? Top of the table. It's a great clip. I should send it. You can put it in. It's a great clip.
Apparently Lazio now have the longest undefeated run in Europe now, or in the big leagues, because Liverpool lost.
Celtic.
It's really good.
We battered them. We conquered our own boys.
In the league.
The league doesn't matter. It's all about Europe, which we're out of. Oh my god.
Napoli, they get a win against Torino. Torino have lost 7 in a row.
Yeah, they're crap.
Not good.
Do they still
Atalanta,
have that striker? What's his name?
Belotti.
Yeah.
Belotti.
That man. He's going to be a £100 million striker. I think I was the only person on planet Earth, but no, he hasn't done anything.
No, there's a lot of people that agreed with you and were confused when he had that huge release clause. But that release clause was just there.
Did you? Okay, hold on. Let me get the release clause for Martin Braithwaite at Barcelona.
Yeah, it was like 20-something million.
No. Like his new one at Barcelona.
Oh, Barcelona always put high release clauses in their players.
It's mental. Like,
I mean, if you look at all Barcelona's release clauses, you won't be surprised.
oh yeah, it's a €300 million buyout clause.
It's a lot higher than I thought.
It's Martin bloody Braithwaite. I don't think he's going for the same money as Mbappe.
You know someone's coming in for that. Liam Celtic's splashing the cash.
Our record signing's $9 million. Martin Braithwaite 300. Okay, Atalanta.
Yes.
One of Lucas's favorite teams.
They love the number 7.
7-2 over Lecce.
That team knows how to score.
They know how to score, but yeah, they know. Zapata had 4.
3.
3. I can't count. Math is not my strong point.
Okay.
Roma, big result for Roma.
Yes.
4-3 over
Cagliari.
Cagliari.
I heard a lot of Roma fans were happy about this match. They were pleased with their...
They should be. They won.
I'm not going to sit there and go, man, I'm pissed off we won 4-3, you know.
No, you know you can win games and still not be happy with the players' performances, but Roma fans were happy with like everyone's performance in this match.
Though.
Like Kalinic scored a brace. That guy never scores.
Yeah. Justin Kluivert and Henrik Mkhitaryan, they score as well.
Yeah, and that's going to help Roma because they've been struggling recently, so they definitely...
Try and get back on the winning form, the positive
The
form.
biggest game, though, in Italy didn't happen.
No.
Juventus hosting Inter Milan. It got postponed. Sad. That would be a good game right now.
Yeah. But apparently I heard that match now might...
Coronavirus is not very good right now.
Not good. Not good.
No.
What did you hear, Lucas?
Well, that this rescheduled match might happen towards the end of the season because there's like not a lot of space.
That'd be crazy though. Like
Just
imagine
extend the season by like a couple of weeks and just make up all
You
these
can't really
games.
do that.
Not really, but it'd be interesting.
It would be, but
hopefully the game just doesn't happen like without us being able to watch it.
Well, hopefully, but when it does happen, hopefully like it's not like the league's not won. Hopefully, it still has implications on the title.
Yeah, I mean, Juventus will have a game in hand, and if Lazio keep performing well, they're going to be ahead of Juventus.
Well, currently Inter Milan have 2 games in hand with Lazio.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying for them. There's also a lot of controversy around this delayment because Let me get the quotes.
Why is it only some games can?
Because the coronavirus has spread in certain regions of Italy.
Okay.
But also, I don't want to get too into it because I'm not a scientist or a doctor. I don't.
You're right. You're not. I'm not either.
We're not on this podcast to talk about diseases.
We're not talking about the coronavirus.
Just
it's very bad in Italy right now in certain places, and
all we can do.
American Airlines canceled flights to Milan. Mm-hmm. You can't fly to Milan anymore.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
Here's the quote. So here we go. The drummer around. This is via Italian Football TV. You guys are great. So the postponement is intense because Inter's director Beppe Marotta, he said they made a mistake postponing a game. The league is now distorted now. The league made a decision without asking because it was supposed to be played on Sunday behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. Then apparently they wanted it on Monday because as Paolo Del Pino, Serie A president, he says, on Friday we postponed to move the match to Monday with fans, but Inter refused. Let's not talk about a disordered league. And there's another quote, I think.
It's just crazy what's going on.
It's an interruption to a
great title race.
Fantastic title race.
Title race.
Title race. For the first time in a long time, Serie A is interesting. And
it's not just Juventus just taking over.
Exactly. Really. It's kind of a shame. But we also understand there are bigger things at play than just football.
Yeah. So with those people with those diseases or those areas that are dealing with those diseases around the world, we hope that it gets better.
The 90th minute wishes you the best.
And also,
The 90th minute does. Except Waz, because he's not here.
That was unnecessary.
I just loved Waz's comment today. Guys, I'm not going to make it to the podcast. I'm in Boston. Waz, we know. We've been there for like half a week. Oh, this man. Right. Anything else you want to talk about? Or we get into Europe?
Let's get to the Europa League. Oh, actually, Ajax lost.
In the Eredivisie?
Yes.
They're having a bad run of time.
Yes.
2-0 against AZ Alkmaar.
Now they're tied for first place with AZ.
Scenes in the Eredivisie.
Since we talk about Ajax, let's move on to the Europa League, but we won't talk about Ajax yet because we know who you want to talk about.
We're starting with
Manchester United. Glory, Man United.
That's what I was going to say. Sorry, we're talking about Celtic. Liam, give us your thoughts.
Celtic got knocked out. What are you looking at? What are you doing? Are you coming at me with something here?
No.
Just because
I move, you think I'm going to target you?
I was expecting like a physical assault.
Yeah, because
you're making fun of Liverpool lost. Now he's going to make fun of that Celtic loss.
No, Celtic, they got knocked out of the hands of Copenhagen.
I think Celtic's loss is a lot more important than Liverpool's loss.
Yes, yes it is. 3-1 is the result at home. It was bad. In terms of, I think, Celtic performances, it was one of the worst I've ever seen, especially for the past few years.
So, Liam, is this one of the most disgraceful results in Celtic recent history?
Yes.
Why so?
Because Copenhagen, no offense to Copenhagen or Danes, because they've been referred to as hating the Danes, I don't. No offense to them, but we are better than them. We should have put 3 past them in the first half of the first leg.
At Celtic Park.
And then coming back home, we should have comfortably controlled the game and finished the chances.
You guys were creating some chances, but
we were missing some key players, unfortunately.
I said in midfield last week of Ncham, Christie, and McGregor. Well, Ncham was injured. Christie was suspended. I forgot about that. So 2 of them didn't play. So, McGregor...
But Scott Brown did.
Scott Brown was back from injury, which I was happy to see. I thought McGregor was all right. Rogic came in the midfield. And you know what? Rogic 2 years ago was probably the best player Celtic had. He was brilliant. He had a bad injury this offseason, and he just hasn't come back good. So, unfortunate for him, but, he was off the pace. Our defense was shambolic.
Those last couple goals.
Jozo Simonovic, he's been bad for years, so I don't know why this is a shock to anyone, why he'd make a mistake and give up a goal. I'm not going to blame the game on him, because it was more to it. But, he gave up that bad goal, and he hasn't been good for years. So, Celtic fans, don't be shocked by that. It's just how he is.
I felt so bad, because I turned the game on right before Celtic got the penalty. I was all excited for Liam.
I saw one tweet, and it actually made sense to me. He goes, you know what? in the SPL, Simonovic is an all right defender. He gets you by. But when you come to Europe, you get exposed by these better teams, and I think that's a fact. These center forwards are more tactically.
You also just don't
clinical.
Know the players
to an extent,
much, teams,
who's your right back usually? Because it says here Ayer played right back.
Yeah, they started off with a back four, and then it transitioned to the back three. Usually right back this season being Frimpong, but I don't know why he didn't start early. I don't know why we didn't start with a 3-5-2. That's how we played in Scotland, and we've scored goals like crazy. We go to Europe and we don't play it. It doesn't make sense to me. But Lennon has to take some blame. I don't think he had the right tactics, but it was bad.
There's also a good chance Elyounoussi had, which I'm shocked he didn't score.
Elyounoussi should have scored 100, or at least get it on target. Yeah. It just makes it even worse, though, because Rangers went through. Rangers are still in Europe, and we're not.
That was such a funny reaction after the match. Like, on our TikTok page, so many Rangers fans were commenting that Rangers winning and Celtic losing.
You know what? I give praise to them. When
in all honesty, I think Rangers played the tougher opponent too.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Yeah, but the thing is, you have to take your lumps sometimes and say, you know what? Rangers went through. They deserve to go through. We did not. We didn't take our chances.
At least Celtic can just focus on the league now.
The league's done.
So you gonna get Champions League and win Champions League next year?
Probably not. We're gonna have to qualify through 3 rounds. No. I truly believe that the SPL is done. Rangers have dropped too many points.
But you guys getting dropped out of the Europa League, you guys screw Scotland's coefficient.
Yeah, Celtic bottled it for Scotland, but.
So apparently there's 3 scenarios that were very unlikely to happen. Those 3 scenarios would be the reason if your coefficient doesn't improve.
Yeah.
And you losing is one of those reasons.
Yeah. It is what it is. But Rangers do get a draw against Bayer Leverkusen. That will be very tough for them, I think.
Yeah, I don't see them going through.
I don't, but hey, you never know. It is football, I guess.
Yep. We've seen crazier things happen, so.
There has been some other big eliminations, though. So let's move on from my depressing sob story and move on to Arsenal.
Do you want tissues?
Which is another depressing sob story.
Did you want tissues?
No.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah, Arsenal, they had a 1-0 advantage going into their home tie against Olympiacos, and they blew it.
Yep. The Emirates saw bad Arsenal.
Papi Cisse scored.
The ex-Newcastle legend. I had to put some blame, though, on Greg. David Luiz. What's happening
I was really confused there.
what the second goal, what is David Luiz doing?
David Luiz.
Yeah, honestly.
I love the guy, but he's not a great defender, in my opinion.
Arsenal concede 2 goals that not the best of defensive errors, defensive mistakes, lapse in judgment.
Oh, this Cisse is not the one I was thinking of.
It's not Papi Cisse from Newcastle?
No.
Who is it then?
It's Papi Abou Cisse from Senegal, who played for Ajaccio.
I thought it was Papi Cisse. Papi Cisse. I was like, bring out Demba Ba.
No.
Wild.
Apologies for that.
But
whoopsie.
At the very end, there was the biggest talking point of this game. Mr. Aubameyang. He first scores a bicycle kick, looking brilliant, and then he's one-on-one with the keeper, dying seconds of the game.
This was after they conceded.
After they conceded, to rescue the tie, and he puts it wide.
How did he put it wide?
I don't know.
Arsenal fans have been questioning this.
I don't know.
Big mysteries in the world. Who built the Great Pyramids? Is the Loch Ness Monster real? How did Aubameyang miss?
What?
No, the thing is, if there was any player on the Arsenal books that you would put your house on to score, Aubameyang's
I think Premier League, a lot of Premier League teams would be putting their books on Aubameyang to score there.
It's shocking to me.
It's a fantastic striker, player.
Fantastic opportunity.
He be putting it away.
I don't think he cracks under the pressure. He bottles out of the big moment.
I've seen him miss big chances many times with Dortmund and Arsenal. I remember, I think him missing in really good chance in the DFB Pokal final one year with Dortmund, and even several times with Dortmund. Like he's a guy that misses easy chances, and I don't know how to explain it, but I was still shocked after that though.
Yeah. Unfortunately, me and Lucas predicted Arsenal win the Europa League.
We did?
Yes, you both did. 100% you did.
We did.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I am pretty sure you
Who did you predict?
Who did I predict?
I think Inter.
But I think it was Inter, yeah.
Okay, we'll make our predictions again later.
I'm saying Wolves.
Well, Wolves did
Well,
they did lose, but they won their first 4-0.
It's actually, I watched about 20 minutes of this game. It's extremely exciting.
I think Espanyol is bottom of La Liga.
they're not
fighting for
their
their
Europa
Europa
League. Are they actually bottom
League
of La
lives.
Liga?
I think so.
They're fighting for their Europa League lives.
Their lives in general, I guess.
They are bottom of La Liga. Wow. That's wild. I did not know that.
It's like Cologne from a few years ago.
Yeah, 100%.
But Wolves go through. Ajax,
huge shock as they fall to Getafe.
Getafe, most hated team in Holland right now.
Probably.
Yeah.
But you had to give Getafe huge credit. They've been fantastic in La Liga, and you know what? They knock out one of the biggest clubs of last year's Champions League.
This is a masterclass performance.
Let's be honest, this Ajax is not like Ajax of last year.
I don't care if you think that, Liam.
Okay.
It's
sorry.
not, though. I agree with Liam there.
This was a masterclass performance. It was beautiful. It wasn't beautiful, but...
Oh, it was beautiful. Beautiful.
Getafe is not...
Dusan Tadic is playing like Dusan Tadic. That's the big thing.
What do you mean?
He's playing like he was at Southampton.
So he's not playing like Dusan Tadic.
No, because Dusan Tadic he played out of his skin last year. He played his career season. Now he's playing like what we expect from him.
No, I think you still expect better from him.
Still a good
Based
player.
on last year's?
Yeah, you still expect him to do a little bit better. Yeah.
I don't know.
The thing is, he had some good players with him last year, too.
And also,
better
I mean, he's
players,
playing with
sorry.
Ryan Babel, for goodness sakes.
What's wrong with that?
I read somewhere that Ryan Babel with Galatasaray, they were not winning a lot of matches, and then ever since he left, they've won every single match or something.
Hey, he was doing good with Fulham.
No, but it's
you
a
guys
huge.
were still not winning.
It's a huge shock.
Yeah, he scored
for
how many
this.
goals?
It's a huge shock for the Europa League.
It is.
It is. Yeah, it's a lot of the bigger teams are out.
I think you have to be careful when you play Getafe now because
Who did Getafe?
Inter.
Oh right, yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
It's actually gonna be good.
Because Getafe they like to how do you say this die cry.
Complain?
They like to milk it.
Okay.
Milk everything. Milk every foul. Milk.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they get under your skin.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a point in this second leg where the Getafe manager Borderlass and Ten Hag, the Ajax manager, they're both just wagging their fingers at each other.
Why not?
Yeah.
But like you said, Wolves do go through. They get Olympiacos in the next round. Can Olympiacos come to England again and get a big result? You never know. Manchester United, they do comfortably get past Club Brugge 5-0. As expected, I gotta be honest. They should be doing that comfortably.
Can United go on and win it?
They should be within the contender shout.
Watch them play Inter and Lukaku and Sanchez score.
Oh please.
Roma,
you got Inter
Ashley
United versus Manchester United. Ashley Young, Alexis Sanchez, Romelu Lukaku.
All score.
Even Victor Moses
please
and
make it
Eriksson
happen.
coming back to the Premier.
Please make it happen. It'll be a great match.
Waz will be so mad.
Roma, they do get past Ghent not very comfortably.
Oh, I watched that match.
Jonathan David did score.
Yeah, he was very good. I really enjoyed his movement off the ball. Just Ghent played very well, and I didn't think Roma played well that well either.
No, but just a little bit more quality overall.
But Ghent, we just couldn't really make that final pass, get that final shot. They're able to transition from defense to attack pretty well. It's just that last bit of thing that they needed, it just didn't happen for them.
That's fair. Most goals in this group, Shakhtar versus Benfica. This game's a bit wild.
Yeah.
It ends 3-3, second leg.
Yeah. Should we talk about all the Portugal teams just got knocked out of the Europa League?
That's a good point.
Made Celtic look good.
Like, Porto, like, is a team that's been making the round of 16 Champions
Portugal
League.
knocked out 3-1 second leg against Bayer Leverkusen. Sporting get knocked out.
Over the past years, and all the Portuguese teams are out. Like,
that's a big.
And they're good teams.
That's a big.
Benfica, Porto, great teams. Braga, they were playing pretty well since they got their new managers.
Are Shakhtar Donetsk a team to be fearful of?
I think
away trips to the Ukraine. You never know.
It's tough, honestly.
I don't. Shakhtar is a team that not many people know about unless if you watch them in Europe or if you watch the Ukrainian league. So it's gonna.
We don't. We don't watch.
We don't watch
Ukrainian
Ukraine. We just know Europe.
So it is.
Try to know Europe.
It is going to be an interesting one. Maybe most fans will be surprised with the results they have. Who do they play?
The next round, who do they get? They got. They got Wolfsburg. They could probably get past Wolfsburg.
Yeah, I could see. All German teams won.
I mean, the next round, the big ties are Sevilla, Roma. That'll be interesting.
Oh, Monchi. He used to be
Frankfurt versus Basel will be decent. Oh, Monchi. Who's Monchi?
The technical director for Sevilla.
Yeah. Like, what? There's a reason I skip you. Because you say Monchi.
Because he was at Roma and he pretty much ruined the club.
I'm sure it will not affect the on-field antics.
I mean, the pre-match stuff will be interesting, I think.
And then we said Olympiacos, Wolves, Rangers, Leverkusen, and Inter Getafe. Inter, they made a little bit of tough work of theirs.
Yeah, you got to be careful there.
They won.
I know, but it was a close game.
So?
2-1 against Ludogorets. So? Behind closed doors.
Yeah, like, without the fans, you're not as motivated.
Yes, but I'm just...
Did you see Lukaku's goal? It was the best goal I've seen.
It just smacked him off the face and went in. He fell into the ball.
Anything
else you want to talk about in the Europa League?
Do you want to make predictions for this, or when are the next matches?
Lucas, next matches are in March. Who do you think is going
to win the Europa League now, since Arsenal?
I think will win the Europa League. I think the winners of the Europa League 2020 will be... Why do you say it like that? Because I don't know the answer, so I was just extending.
I don't want...
Well, now you're extending it even more.
I don't want Inter Milan.
But you think they'll win?
No, I want Manchester United. Just because it'd be funny.
I mean, I still want United versus Rangers.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Can it happen, like, without being in the finals right now? Or, like,
yeah,
if they both went through? I don't know how, like, the legs are.
Yeah.
I think it's just a draw as well. And
it's just a random draw right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it will be... Well, I think Wolves will make the final. I don't know if they'll win.
That'd be wild if they did.
That'd be crazy. I'd love it.
I mean, Fulham did once.
I'm aware of that.
Got a point. Hey, it'll be interesting to see what happens in Europa League. What's next?
Craig, you didn't even make your prediction.
Oh, yeah.
I already said Wolves.
Oh, you did?
He did before.
Oh.
I said it 3 times now.
United. Inter?
Maybe Wolves, but maybe Inter, but maybe Getafe.
That's 3 teams.
There's 16. It's hard to choose.
Pick one.
No. Are we going on to questions now?
Yes.
Now, this is not really a question, but I put out a Instagram story that said it was a meme I made about Celtic and Arsenal being out, and we got one response from this. Now I'm not going to tell you who did the response, but I want you to guess who this was.
How are we supposed to know?
You'll know. You're both shite. Glory, glory, Man United. Bruno the GOAT. 5 out of 5. Man of the match. It was the thing about Arsenal and Celtic. Waz comes out of nowhere with this.
You didn't even let us predict.
No. He just came out with glory, glory, Man United. I just wanted to say that before.
Did you ask for Instagram questions or no?
I did.
None?
Oh, well, we're getting onto that, Lucas. Is that okay?
That was something else.
Oh, okay.
I was a humorous thing I saw. I said, I'm going to screenshot that.
It was funny.
It's just Waz being Waz, thinking United are just the best.
How did you know it was Waz?
Well, because it says sent from Waz, and then it also went, that's how Waz would say.
But whenever you send me these pictures, it doesn't say anyone's name.
Because that's when I screenshot them. I can open them up as
and see
messages.
that it's who it is.
I don't use Instagram like that.
These are TikTok comments. We're going to start there. We've got a ton of them saying opinions about Liverpool losing. We talked about that. So thank you for your questions.
Also, if we miss any, we're sorry. Blame Liam.
You do what you want, man. Yeah. Do what you want.
Liam, get those questions.
I'm trying. This one here from TikTok says, do you think Inter Miami will live up to the hype? Oh, they did lose today.
Yeah, we didn't mention MLS.
Against MLS winners LAFC.
It's a tough match.
Carlos Vela did score.
Apparently they did play pretty well from what I heard.
Did you see who's wearing number 7 for Inter Miami?
Cristiano Ronaldo?
Nope. Better than Ronaldo.
Well, that's not debatable.
It's Lewis Morgan. The Celtic winger.
Yeah. I mean, let's make our MLS predictions right now.
No Zlatan, so it won't be LA Galaxy.
Yeah, it's good. We're not the best with MLS knowledge.
We're not American. We don't really watch it.
We watch it from time to time.
Canadian teams in there, but
we watch it from time to time. I only got to watch like 2 minutes, and that was.
I like the playoffs. Goal. I don't watch the regular 100%. Season.
LAFC will definitely be favorites. They're a decent side, and Carlos.
I'll say Atlanta again.
Atlanta.
You always do this.
I don't see any of the Canadian teams doing anything decent.
Not even TFC?
After last season?
I think TFC is slowly dropping off. They're getting older.
I mean, they dropped off, then they made the final the next year.
Yeah. It won't be Montreal because Thierry Henry's coaching that team, and that's not happening.
They're in the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Champions League. Matter.
Vancouver, they don't have Alfonso no more, so no Vancouver.
They didn't have him last year either. But
that's why they didn't do anything last year either, Lucas.
Yes.
I'll go LAFC and be boring.
I said Atlanta and be boring because I don't know the MLS enough.
All right, then I'll be different than you guys. I'll say Sporting Kansas City.
Say Inter Miami. Come on.
They're not gonna make one in their first year. Are you insane?
Atlanta did.
No, they didn't.
Did they not make the final in their first year?
Maybe they did.
I'm pretty sure they won it in the first year.
I thought it was second year.
I'm pretty sure even LAFC.
Back to questions.
LAFC in their first year they made the final.
No, wasn't this their second year?
I think they made the final in the first year.
Are you sure?
I don't know, but
let's not debate the MLS. Let's go back to our questions.
Okay, Lucas will find the answer while I'm asking the next one. Can you talk about Manchester United's transfer business?
Did we even answer that question?
Yeah. Do you think they live up to the hype? I don't think they'll make the. I don't think they'll make the final. I think they will do well if they make the playoffs.
It's interesting for them to come in.
I'm looking forward to more the signings that are potentially made.
You always love those.
I want a big signing in Inter Miami.
Okay, so for the MLS playoffs, LAFC did not make the final.
In the first year?
No.
Okay. Did they make the playoffs?
Knockout round, it says here.
Okay.
And Atlanta United knockout round as well.
Okay.
They were champions in their second year.
You know what's wild? I don't watch MLS. That's where it is.
You watch it sometimes.
Yeah. I watch the playoffs.
If it's on. Can you guys talk about Manchester United's transfer business and how that will impact next season? They've signed Igalo. No, I mean, I think I'm going to move this question more to what could they sign in the summer and who could they sign?
The thing is, I think Pogba needs to go. So then that's a big hole you need to fill in the midfield. And that's a lot of money. It should be a lot of money. And you can make some good signings with it.
I think there's a dead weight to be cut from Manchester United. Phil Jones can go anytime. Yeah. Pogba, I agree, could go. Potentially, if you're feeling real brave, you could let De Gea go.
And I think you need to go in and get a striker back.
Yeah. You need a 25 goal scorer.
Do you know who was rumored?
Who?
Jonathan David.
I don't think he's the one.
I'd want him at Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think if Liverpool get him and Werner, we're set.
Moussa Dembele.
But sorry about bringing up Liverpool and Manchester United question.
It's, I think United will sign. They will spend money this summer. Yeah. They need to. They want to be competitive. It's just whether it depends on if they say Ole is the guy,
and if they make Champions League as well.
That's a big
and
as well.
Pogba does stay or not.
Yeah,
he won't stay.
I know, but
I don't think he will either.
What
are you thinking about Leverkusen versus Rangers? We talked about this. I think Rangers are going out. I'm just gonna be honest. Thoughts?
Most likely, but It'll be an interesting.
It'll be interesting, yeah.
Because it's never easy going, as we all know, going to Scotland.
Yeah. Thoughts on Portugal's national team?
Oh, yes. This is a great question. Portugal's national team is one that I've praised for the past year, I think.
If you've been watching us for a while and you know our 1v1 little thing,
no one watched that.
Our 1v1 predictions were once upon a time a thing. They might be coming back in a little bit. You never know. But there was once upon a time where Lucas made a prediction about Portugal.
Yeah, I said Portugal would draw Serbia 0-0.
That game, what did the game finish? Was it 3-3 or something?
The most exciting game in history.
Like a crazy game, and Lucas just we just bash him for that.
Yeah.
What do I think about Portugal's national team? They're good.
They're very good. You got Cristiano. Any team with Cristiano Ronaldo is very good.
Yes. They have good young players coming through.
Bruno Fernandes.
They have a good goalie still in Rui Patricio.
I mean, they have a good team all around.
They do. I think yes, their Euro group is nuts. They got Germany and France.
I mean, you just honestly look at Wolves' team, and like a lot of that is the Portuguese national team.
But yeah, you got some great players there, like you mentioned, and also there's Bernardo Silva, there's Joao Felix, there's João Moutinho.
Even I just had his name and I just lost it. The ex-Swansea winger, Renato Sanchez.
He's not a winger.
He can be a winger. He was a winger at Swansea, that's why he didn't work. But no, there's
João Cancelo,
Guedes.
Yeah, it's a very good team. And if we're
so
talking
much.
about Euros, they're in a tough
center back that loves so much.
Pepe?
No.
Ruben Diaz?
No. Dreadlocks.
Oh, Ruben Semedo.
Ruben Semedo.
That guy's not going to get called.
No, he won't.
Ruben Neves too.
Yeah, they have a good team. And it's
if you're talking about Euros, though, they have a really tough group.
Group, but third place does go through. It potentially could go through, and they did that last time, and they won the entire tournament.
And you have a trump card of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, that was a good question. I like that one.
Yeah. Thank you for the question.
Where are we at now? Messi. Could Messi win the... Sorry. If Messi won the Champions League, would he be in the Ballon d'Or conversation, even though he started off with an injury this season?
If he continues his great goal-scoring stuff?
If he can win La Liga and win the Champions League, then yes, he can be in the conversation. But it is a Euros year, so European players have a bit of an upper hand.
Well, it's also Copa America this summer.
It is. That is true. That is true.
But
how do you rate Copa America versus Euros?
Well, if Messi wins the Copa America, people are going to be talking about it more than anyone else winning the Euros, except for Cristiano Ronaldo. So
I think it's still way too early to really think about. But of course, Messi is the GOAT. Honestly, he always has a chance.
I think if he loses everything but wins Copa America, people will give it to him. I think so.
That's brave, though. Like, what if you have someone like look at Luka Modric? Okay, so he wins the Champions League and gets to a World Cup final, and he wins it. What if there's a player who wins the Champions League and also gets to a Euro final?
But it's Messi. You have to remember, it's Messi.
But you have to grade each player equally.
But they don't. You've said it in the past as well.
I agree.
It's also not just teams, though. It's individual performances.
Oh,
if he
has
continue,
been very good this year,
he could get injured again, is all we know. And right?
Yeah, I know, like you said something about his goal scoring, but he hasn't been scoring a lot except for that one game recently.
I know, but
he definitely needs to just stay consistent throughout the rest of the year, stay healthy. Maybe he's lacking some fitness. I don't know. But
only time will tell.
We can now move on to the YouTube questions. There actually is no Instagram questions, I just realized. Either I forgot to screenshot them, or I don't know. I don't remember. I do apologize. I don't have any here.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot more TikTok questions.
That's all the ones that are there. The
How
rest
many-
of them are
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
How many videos did you go through?
Like 5.
That's only like 2 days.
Our last podcast was on Wednesday.
Yeah, but we didn't answer any questions on Wednesday.
Lucas, I don't know what you want from me.
Holy crap, man.
Do I want to pause it and look?
No, we're 9 days.
There's a lot of things we need to go through here, man. Why don't you help? We need Greg to do it.
Really, we should.
Sure.
Greg, that's your new job.
You're the official TikTok question guy.
Screenshot whatever questions you see throughout the week so Liam doesn't disappoint anyone.
Thanks. I'll get Instagram and YouTube. You get TikTok. There we go. That was good, boys. We figured that out.
To anyone on TikTok that watched this and we didn't answer your question, we're sorry.
We can send out something later. We'll see. YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Atletico will go in defensive in the second leg, or will they? And can they pull it off?
They can't go defensive.
They can. They're Atletico.
Oh, you're talking about Athletic. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Juventus.
What?
You said Atletico.
No.
You both are a mess today.
Can Atletico go into the second leg defensive, and can they pull it off? Yes, they can, because they're Atletico. They're probably the most defensive side in Europe, basically.
Well, not this season.
They don't
but
see that hell of a
at
lot.
the same time, I also think if they just allow Liverpool just all this time, eventually something's going to give.
I agree. Do I think they can pull it off? They can, but I don't think they will.
At Anfield, it's going to be tough. Especially with Liverpool honestly losing now. Like I said earlier in the video, it could be a wake-up call for them, and they could come out. What does the Liverpool fan think?
Let's wait and see.
Oh my God.
He's so boring.
He's just the worst.
No, obviously I agree with you guys. Atletico Madrid are going to go defensive, but they will be able to create chances. They're not a crappy...
they're not a bad team.
No, they're not a bad team.
They can create chances. Whether they can finish them is the situation. And Liverpool, they just can't play like they have been playing since the winter break. If they do...
Yeah, that's a big thing, yeah.
Jeez.
Sorry, I'm trying to find some more questions.
Well, it's too late now.
It's never too late, Lucas.
It's too late to say sorry.
I went back 7 videos.
Yeah, we post 3 a day.
We apologize for not answering the questions because Liam messed up. But let's go on to the questions that you still do have.
Yeah, that's all the ones I have. That's all the questions
There was YouTube questions.
That was the only YouTube question.
I have a question.
Yes, you do.
But
Liam, there's more than one video.
I went back to the last 3 videos, Lucas. I went back. Look, these are not questions.
Let me see this.
None of these are questions. These are all just comments.
Well, where's the question for me?
You already had yours, so I didn't worry about that one.
I don't exactly remember it completely. I know to the extent of it.
I'm not trusted by Lucas. He's now 3 videos back. Thanks.
Lucas, do you see the...
That is foot in mouth.
There's a Greg question. I thought you were going to ask that.
I just thought Greg had his already. He already said he had the answer.
It's a long question.
Okay, I'll read it for you, Gregory. Would you rather see Fulham get promoted, coming in at an easy second place, or get 6th place but win the promotional knockout?
So, it's kind of a tough question, and I kind of have a couple answers for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love for them to just get automatic promotion, of course. Who wouldn't?
Thing, yeah.
But I also enjoy watching playoffs. When we went up, I enjoyed watching it. It was fun. It was entertaining. It brings something else to football.
It's something that you don't see in the Premier League. So yeah, it's excitement.
It is excitement, but as much as I also want Fulham to go up, I wouldn't be too upset if they stayed down, because you always have the risk of just dropping back down right away, and it's nice to actually win games and be competitive in the championship.
Not wrong, 100%.
So
is that your answer?
That's my answer.
Okay, Lucas, I got some more questions for you. Do you think Marco Reus is underrated, and reckon who would be recognized more if he was not for his injuries?
Yeah, I do think Marco Reus is definitely one of the most underrated players in the past 5 years. His injuries have definitely hurt him getting the recognition he definitely deserves.
Yeah, he was considered one of the best players in the world, I remember, but injuries just ruined him.
Yeah, the 2014 World Cup where he missed it because of injuries. He missed many parts of many seasons where he wasn't able to help Borussia Dortmund.
I think people are going to look at his injuries and say, you know what, he was a good player, but didn't live up to his potential because of them, 100%.
And he still performed at a really high level.
He is still a good player, 100%.
Like last season, even though he was injured, he was still one of, if not the best Bundesliga player last season.
A bit of a banter question here. Will we see Arsenal in the championship in the next 4 seasons?
Greg, the championship expert?
I don't think so. I think Arsenal will be okay.
No. Being bottom 3 in the Premier League to
Yeah.
a team like that, to a historical team like that, is not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened in the past.
It has, but I don't know.
Ripley.
Do you think Sheffield United will make top 4? No.
I think
I think
they're
they'll
on the
finish-
decline right now.
Yeah, I think they'll be happy with a top 7 finish.
I mean, they didn't play this weekend, so it's.
Yeah, it's
I think
And Wolves is on the up.
Wolves are doing
United's
great.
honestly on the up. A bunch of those teams are on the up, and it seems Sheffield's mostly on the down.
Mm-hmm.
But like they can still bounce back.
Let's
It's
not-
hard to say.
let's not toss them out just yet.
Oh, I'm not.
Let's just wait and see, I guess. And
And you said, they do have that game in hand. So.
yeah, so I just want to see them play next match and see how that goes.
What is it to me? What do you think of Moussa Dembele leaving Celtic? I think he's the best center forward we've had in a long time. I know people say Edouard's great, and Edouard is great, but he's not Moussa Dembele. I think Moussa Dembele is destined for the top of Europe's leagues kind of thing.
Best attacking player since Larson,
Quite possibly.
or was Samaras better?
I liked Yorgio Samaras, but I don't think he was as good as Moussa Dembele technically. I mean, I met the man. He wasn't great when I met him.
Why?
When he played here, had a shockingly bad game.
Oh, you didn't meet him personally.
I met him in person.
Oh.
I got a signature. I talked to him for a little bit, but the game, we actually played the game, he wasn't great. So
I mean, it was
he was his retirement league, basically. He was older.
Yeah.
was he nice?
Yes, he's very nice. He didn't speak very much English, but, my Greek's not great.
I mean, his Scottish just probably isn't great.
They speak English in Scotland.
I know. That's the joke. Because people say that they can't understand Scottish accents.
I get that. I got your joke. If you had to explain it, it's not a good joke.
I mean, that's the point, Greg. You always say it's a joke.
That's all I see
Yeah.
right now.
Sure.
That's all I see right now. Oh, can we talk about AFC Wimbledon? I know it's hella niche, but still. All I know is about AFC Wimbledon, there's a YouTuber named Cutsy, and he has like a Road to Glory going on right now, so that's about it.
I know that they beat Liverpool 1-2 in the FA Cup, which was very historic, and I know that how
They have a
that
rivalry with MK Dons.
no, because MK Dons owner bought him and then changed their name and moved where they were, and they had to start up again from like the really low divisions, and now have come up to League One.
Yeah.
They are 19th in League One right here.
We apologize.
Wimbledon. Who's their best player, Lucas?
Their best player?
What does Wimbledon have got going on?
I mean, let's see. Anyone I recognize?
No, I know you don't.
Fortunately, we don't watch the English football League One. So
I mean, some games pop up from occasion, but do we choose to watch it?
No.
unfortunately not.
Is there anything else?
If Fulham dropped down, then I probably
Is there
would.
anything else
But
to talk about? I think that's it.
No, I don't think so.
think
Unless
that's
if you
genuinely
somehow find more questions.
No, I
he already did somehow find more
just
questions.
going through
I
them
mean, you
all.
actually looked at the videos.
I went back, so I thought that was good enough. I was like, hey, our last thing was on Wednesday. It was only a handful of days ago.
But we didn't answer questions on
I
Wednesday.
forgot about that, okay? I don't actually work here.
Well, none of us do.
You know. Let's wrap
Lucas,
this up.
you
This-
basically work here.
This has been a bit of a train
It's a
wreck, I
hobby,
must
mate.
say. The last 20 minutes has been a tire fire.
Whose fault is that?
Yours. Just Greg's. He didn't take the pictures.
That's not my job.
It is now.
It is now. I agree.
TikTok.
I'll do them
TikTok
all.
is all you.
No, I'll do YouTube too.
Okay.
I'll take
Instagram.
over. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Wow. Lovely.
Do you have a
Waz
TikTok
doing?
account?
I'll figure it out.
Yes, he follows us.
He does?
Yes.
What's your account?
Don't worry about it.
I need to follow you back on the account.
Let's wrap this up because, quite frankly, it has gone downhill quickly.
If you enjoyed it, thank you very much. If you didn't, let us know why. We can probably understand why in some cases.
If
Yeah, we
you are-
apologize for the end of this episode.
If you are still watching, we greatly appreciate the support. Make sure you hit like, comment, and subscribe to the 90th Minute. Hit us up on any and all social medias, like the TikTok, the Instagram. We're also on Twitter and Facebook.
Make sure to leave us
else?
questions so we can answer your questions.
I'll take your picture next time.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Like the video if you're watching on YouTube.
Yes.
And
Get
until
involved.
yeah,
Get involved.
We should have a midweek episode that's we're not entirely sure we're going to do yet, but
It'll
it'll
be
be
up
something.
Thursday. It'll be up Thursday. Get ready for that.
It might not be a podcast like this or like last one.
Just a shorter episode that might be fun. So
we'll see.
So, from Greg, from Lucas, from myself, Liam, and as well as co-host Waz in Boston, wherever he is.
glory.
Glory, Man United. Like I said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening as well. This has been yet another week in a beautiful game. See you next time. Where are we starting?
We will start with Liverpool losing because
Why?
that's what most people have asked.
looks like shit.
Okay, fine. We'll start with Fulham winning.
Thank you.
I mean, I forgot to
No,
touch.
we're not talking about
Pardon me.
Ah!